do you have to be religious in any way to attend St. Jerome's University, or is there any requirements in that aspect?
Yeah, Dennis, we get this question quite often.
So, like, theoretically speaking, I can go down, grab some chocolate milk, finish it all up, go for refills, like an endless amount of time.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
This is probably what I say to most families who come, and they're like, tell me what's best about your university college, or why should we pick you? A floor called La Bastille, which is a French-speaking community.
La Bastille?
La Bastille. No, Bastille.
What's Bastille?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Welcome back to another Hello Warrior podcast episode. Today we have special guest Jameson from St. Jerome's University, and this is going to be on a kind of segment talking about the university colleges that we have on campus. So we have 4 different ones: St. Jerome's, Renison, Conrad Grebel, and United. So almost forgot about the 4. But yeah, so I guess, Jameson, do you want to start and just introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Dennis. My name is Jameson Oheiser. I'm the admissions and recruitment coordinator here at St. Jerome's University.
Sweet. Awesome. And then what kind of program did you study in sort of your undergrad?
Yeah, great question. I completed my undergrad in honors arts, so
Nice.
I completed a double major in legal studies and sociology. So I did the double major there, and I'm actually a part-time graduate student too, doing
Are you?
a master's in social and legal studies.
Really? So you're working full-time at the
Yeah.
university, and you're also getting your master's?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's sweet.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
There, and great program that I would recommend to students as well.
How do you find like the flexibility with that? Like, are profs like very accommodating with that, or like do you find that your employers are good?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to be able to work for a university, see like the ins and outs of how everything works, and then still be a student at the same time.
Hey,
So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And one kind of cool or fun fact kind of about you, something that you just enjoy or like doing.
Oh man, I mean, I have a 3-year-old golden retriever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
His name is Bo. He's a handful.
Bo?
But, yeah, he's a great dog, and I like taking him for trail walks out, up north and stuff like that. So yeah.
Dude, that's sweet. Cool. Yeah, we got lots of good like hiking trails in Waterloo as well.
We do. Yeah.
And I mean the weather's getting a bit better now, so we should be able to. Maybe I'll tag along.
Yeah, man, you're welcome to tag along. We want to. Bo always likes visitors and guests.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Jameson, I think we'll kind of get started with the first kind of real question here. So, why did you choose to attend Waterloo, or even like when you were in high school? Why did you want to attend Waterloo?
Yeah, so when I was choosing universities, I ultimately landed on Waterloo for a few reasons, right? So I was looking at law school when I was thinking about like my education and where I wanted to go for a pathway and so forth, thinking about being a lawyer and going that route. So I landed on legal studies, which is one of the majors that we have for honors arts and honors arts in business. Phenomenal program, just because legal studies, the name might be a little bit different than like criminology, things like that, but we actually have a lot of criminology courses here. So that's really, really cool, and I really enjoyed taking some of those courses. But through my honors arts degree, due to that flexibility, I was able to take courses in other disciplines, and so I was able to take courses in peace and conflict studies and sociology as well. And so I really love sociology because they did a lot of courses on migration and legality and migration and legality, things like that. So I really love those programs, or those 2 majors, that is, and that's why I went through honors arts. After that, I kind of decided that I was going to go into a grad studies program and went from there, but the academic backing was a big piece, and then also what's really, really nice about Waterloo was just the support as well, right? So as you know, Dennis, like just the support that Waterloo has is like no other, and it's great to be able to be a part of, like, for instance, students will be a part of the Legal Studies Society. They'll work to write practice LSATs. They'll get connected to lawyers and judges in the region to see what careers are like and if that's a pathway they want to go through. So yeah, I wanted that great prestigious Waterloo degree with a lot of support along the way. So
love that you mentioned the support aspect, because I think like on campus we have a whole bunch of things when it comes to like counselors and academic advisors and stuff, but profs are another great avenue for that kind of support system, and they're there not just for your studies but also for your overall well-being, which is great. You think maybe a student in legal studies, would they be able to get co-op positions, let's say at law firms or kind of with lawyers and that kind of aspect? Or
one of the things I do say to students is try not to have your thinking limited to one certain like position that you want for co-op. The real nice thing about co-op is that you can apply to many different positions, right? So I've heard of students being in legal studies that have went out and worked at like human resource firms, right? So even that's really nice because you're still learning the ins and outs of a nice business environment, and you're still gaining those critical skills that a lot of employers are looking for. But at the same time, it may not be the exact co-op job that you were envisioning at the start, but you may find something that you really, really like. And so that's really the beauty of co-op. You can kind of test drive those different careers, and that's something that I'm sure those students will find out on your co-op session as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know you only represent St. Jerome's University, but if you could just speak generally about what are university colleges and what kind of significance do they kind of have on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 4 university colleges as part of the University of Waterloo. So St. Jerome's University, Renison University College, United University College, and Conrad Grebel University College. So we have those 4, and really how I explain them is they're small kind of communities that students can actually either enroll at for 2 of them, Renison and St. Jerome's, or they can be involved in residence. And all of the 4 university colleges will have residents associated with them. So students can choose main campus Waterloo, or they can choose one of those smaller kind of tight-knit university colleges. So a lot of them will have kind of their different niche areas and so forth. For instance, St. Jerome's has like service learning, things like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them will kind of have that close-knit supportive community that really helps. It's really advantageous for a lot of students.
Yeah, it's like a smaller community within the larger community of the university, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now that you spoke generally about what university colleges are, what is St. Jerome's and what's kind of unique to St. Jerome's University College?
Yeah, so St. Jerome's University is, again, under that umbrella of the university colleges at Waterloo, but we do offer quite a few unique things here, right? Yeah. So if students enroll with us as well as UW, so you can enroll at both universities.
Is that like a co-registration?
Yeah, that's known as co-registration. And so students can enroll with both universities there, and they gain a few extra benefits on top of what they get at Waterloo, right? Okay. So they gain additional student advisors here. So if you need access to get those classes changed, you can do that and work with our student advisors. You also get more scholarship eligibility, right? Okay. So being enrolled with us at St. Jerome's actually opens the door for a few more scholarships you could apply to. And then we also have other things like our residence here, where students will get preferential consideration for our residents if they're enrolled with us here at our institution. Yeah. And then also small class sizes. So believe it or not, Denis, our average class size is about 35 students.
Takes me back to high school.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So it's very small class sizes, and students get huge benefits there as well. Just being able to like meet other students, meet professors. Especially if you're looking at, say, law school. I know we were talking about that. Yeah. Having great reference letters is really, really important for professional schools, even graduate programs as well.
For sure.
And you can kind of facilitate that reference a little bit better when you're in a small class size.
I like that you mentioned the co-registration part. What kind of programs could students potentially co-register for?
Yeah, great question. So that co-registration is open for Renison University College and St. Jerome's University.
Gotcha.
So those are the only 2 university colleges that have that eligibility to enroll.
Gotcha.
But the 2 programs that qualify for that are Honors Arts and Honors Arts in Business. And kind of under those 2 programs is going to be all those 30 different majors that you could declare in, right? So things like legal studies, sociology, peace and conflict studies, those different 30. I won't name all 30.
Right.
We're short on time.
Right. Just within the Faculty of Arts.
Faculty of Arts.
There you go. Perfect. Do you have to be religious in any way to attend St. Jerome's University, or is there any requirements in that aspect?
Yeah, Denis, we get this question quite often. Do I have to take some religious studies courses? Do I have to be Catholic? And the answer is no, right? Yeah. So we're very open and welcoming community for all students, all faith backgrounds. Even if you're non-faith background, that is totally, totally okay. We're very open and receptive campus to all students. And that being said, we do have campus ministry on campus. So they run Mass on Sundays. They do meditation Mondays for students. We have a multi-faith prayer room, which is available to students as well for those who practice different faiths and religions. There's awesome opportunities to get involved with campus ministry, but it's there if students want to participate or not, but no requirement whatsoever for anything like that. Yeah.
That's sweet. And then, do you earn an SJU degree at the end, or is it a University of Waterloo degree?
Yeah, so our degree is a University of Waterloo degree.
Okay.
So that's another thing that I want to make known for students when they're thinking about co-registering is with their academics, Waterloo confers that degree. So you graduate with a University of Waterloo degree, which is great because that's a prestigious degree, right?
For sure.
Known around the world. But when you enroll with us, you get those great student supports on top of that Waterloo education that really makes students enjoy their time here at SJU.
Yeah, that's awesome. Going back to that piece that you're talking about earlier about residents and how each of the university colleges, they have their own residents. Mm-hmm. Can you speak a little bit about the residents that we have at SJU, kind of maybe some of the pricing, the living styles, the dorm styles that are available to students? Are students in high school able to kind of select St. Jerome's as their choice of residence? And does it depend on their program that they're in or faculty that they're associated with? So just some general info that residence for students.
Yeah, depending on if you're choosing a single room, those are a little bit more higher in demand, so
Okay.
a little bit near the top of that scale there.
Gotcha.
If you're looking at a double room, kind of lower to like the 13,500 route.
With the roommate?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
a roommate, yeah. And then those are dorm style rooms there,
Yeah.
right? So dorm style essentially means that they're single and double rooms that we have to offer here at St. Jerome's.
Yeah.
And then you kind of share a communal washroom, right?
Okay.
So shower stalls, toilets, all that stuff is in the washrooms. But what's really unique with St. Jerome's is most of our rooms, I would say, have sinks inside. And so
Okay.
that's really, really nice. Just because students don't have to like floss in the
Yeah,
communal washroom,
yeah.
brush their teeth, things like
They can
that.
just do some
Yeah, that's really beneficial. And then we actually have some rooms that are extra large single size rooms.
Okay.
So they're about the size of a double converted to a single. We
Okay.
have a few of those available. But all of our residence rooms have mini fridges inside all of them.
Oh, that's sweet.
So if you have leftovers and you
Yeah.
want to keep it cold, you can
You got
do
a
that.
spot, yeah.
You got some good beverages you want to keep in there, Gatorade, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You can do that and keep that stuff cold, which is really cool. And then obviously all the other stuff that typically comes in like a dorm room, your
Right.
desk, your chair, wardrobe, all that stuff.
With the bed, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So,
For sure.
Phenomenal residence. And then just to chat about the meal plan as well.
Yeah.
So something that's unique to the university colleges is we have all-you-can-eat meal plans.
Sweet.
Which is really good, especially for athletic students,
Yeah.
right? So
Because they're always just eating. They gotta.
yeah, exactly, right? So they have kind of that residence community and actually have that all-you-can-eat meal plan. And so that's why our fees are going to be within the 13.5 to 14.5 range,
bit higher.
because you also have to consider that the meal plan is also lumped in there too.
Right.
And then laundry services is also in that fee too.
It's already in there.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
So like theoretically speaking, I can go down, grab some chocolate milk, finish it all up, go for refills, like an endless amount of time.
There you go. Yeah,
Really?
as long as it's within the actual hours of our cafeteria being
Yeah.
open, you're more than welcome to help yourself get as much food as you want. Yeah.
What are those hours?
Yeah, so the hours are typically going to be, they change per term. So it's a
Okay.
little bit hard to say, but I would say about 2 to 3 hours in length is what we typically have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, there you go. Give students
so-
a lot of time to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're on the other side of campus at a lecture, it gives you enough time to, come back to the cafeteria and be able to still be able to attend that meal hour and
For
so
sure.
forth. And then we also have an in-house kitchen as well.
Okay.
That students could use after hours into the night and so forth. It's not a
Gotcha.
24-hour kitchen, but it is really nice for students to be able to access that. and so
That's
forth.
sweet. So let's say a student had like a lab or a class finish at like 10 p.m. If you're finished like the dinner service or whatever the case is, would they have to then make it for themselves, or is there an option for things to be packaged up and just kind of waiting for them to pick up and bring it back to the dorm room? Does that work? Or?
Yeah, it's good you mentioned that. Yeah, that's something I didn't mention as well, is that students can actually package meals.
Okay.
And we'll package that up for them, and then they can take it across campus or wherever they might be. And that, again, ensures that they don't miss a meal, right? So if you know you're going to be in a lecture or studying with friends on the other side of campus, something like that, you can get that meal packaged up and ready to go.
Yeah.
And another thing I'll just mention is it's very centralized residence too, right?
Yeah.
So we're one of the closest residences to the Student Life Center, the Physical Activities Complex, and we're very close to a lot of arts buildings, which
Right.
is hugely beneficial for students who enroll with us
Right.
in Honors Arts and Honors Arts in Business, that they can wake up, go to class, and it's really, really close there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then is residence open to only just art students, or can students from all faculties apply to be in the St. Jerome's residence?
All faculties.
Okay,
Yeah, so
perfect.
whether you're a health student, environment, engineering, whatever it may be, you can apply to St. Jerome's residence. That's
Yeah.
on the first year guarantee form that students will need to fill out to rank their residences, but it's open to all students, right? So obviously students will get that preferential consideration if they're enrolled with us through Honors Arts or Honors Arts in Business, but if you're an engineering student or a health student, absolutely, yeah, you can still apply to residence. And go from there. New this year as well, we also have a community interest form.
Okay.
And so that form just gives us a little bit more information on the student, and you learn a little bit on the residence.
Okay.
About the residence, that is. And we also take a look at that form, and that can also boost a student's chance
Okay.
in receiving an offer to St. Jerome's for their residence. So that could be another step that students could take. But yeah, if you're really interested in St. Jerome's as a residence, I'd say rank us number 1.
Yeah.
Look at that community interest form and make sure you're meeting that deadline for the ranking form as well.
No, that's sweet. That's sweet. And then the deadline is June 3rd this year?
June 3rd for the
June 3rd.
2024 year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then just to wrap up some things here, is there any advice that you would give to any high school students that want to come into the University of Waterloo, or even just who are interested in SJ in co-registering for SJU? And anything maybe that you didn't share today, you want to add in anything that maybe we didn't touch upon?
Yeah, thanks, Denis. Yeah, so what I would say for students looking at university and any tips, I would say try and get involved if you can.
Yeah.
Try and look at some clubs, some extracurriculars, things like that. There's a lot of data out there that shows that when students are involved in their community, they're involved in clubs, extracurriculars, they that does benefit their studies just because they're more connected to the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend that as well. If they're looking at St. Jerome's to enroll, they're more than welcome to send me an email and so forth, or they can look through our website and our brochures that we hand out. And you can go from there, but really nice that students still graduate with a Waterloo degree. They can still enroll with us and get a few more extra perks tacked on their Waterloo experience at St. Jerome's University.
Sweet, I love that. We'll put your email in the description box below, so if people want to click on that, and then they can just send you an email with any questions they have.
Yeah.
By all means, Jameson. Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks, Denis.
Hey, thanks for being on the podcast today. And then now we'll just switch up locations, and then we'll have the other 3 university colleges. So stay tuned.
And welcome back to the next segment of the University College's podcast, or I guess video on our podcast for the Hello Warriors. So now that we finished St. Jerome's University, now we'll be able to kind of talk to the other University College reps. And luckily today we have 3 of them, and I'll let them kind of introduce themselves. Do you want to start first?
Yeah, my name is Gemma, and I'm the Student Life and Recruitment Coordinator at Conrad Grebel.
Nice. And then one kind of cool thing about yourself, maybe your fun fact.
Sure, yeah. I bike to work every day all year round.
Not all year round. How is it in the winter?
Good. I actually just took my winter tires off my bike yesterday because I don't think it's going to snow.
I actually didn't know that there were winter tires for your bike.
On there, just
really?
Snow and ice. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
How far is the bike ride?
It's like 25 minutes.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. It's not super long or anything. But yeah, hopefully it's not going to snow again. So we should be good to go.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Jen?
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I am the Marketing Recruitment Outreach Officer at Renison University College. And a little fun fact about me, I always struggle with this question because it's like, what's interesting? My personality are my cats. I like crocheting.
Okay, there you go.
All grandma activities.
How many cats do you have? Just
2.
2?
Yeah.
Names?
So they have Chinese names. They
Okay.
are called, so the boy is called Yuan, and the girl is called Tian Tian. So like together it's like my faded love, or like
That's
sweet
cool.
love, like stuff like that.
That's cool. Awesome.
I am Reed. I am the Marketing and Communications Officer at United College. And just an interesting fact about myself, this year I have read 45 books so far.
45.
45 so far. We are in mid-April.
Wow.
And what's your goal by the end of the year?
My goal is 53.
Oh,
We're good.
You're surpassing that easy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book that you've read so far? Or maybe like top, maybe 2 or 3?
Okay, so I wouldn't say I've read any of like my top books this year.
Sure.
My top book in the past like calendar year was Happy Place by Emily Henry.
Okay.
And this year, like so far in these like past 4 months, I have done a complete switch from reading a lot of like fiction and romance books to thrillers. Like just a bunch of psychological thrillers. So I've just kind of done like a 180. So we're getting some new content out there.
New content. There you go. And I forgot to ask earlier, did you all attend the University of Waterloo? And if so, what programs did you study?
Yes, I did. And I was in Peace and Conflict Studies.
Nice.
I attended Waterloo and I graduated in biology.
Nice.
I did not go to the University of
What
Waterloo.
did you study?
I studied media studies at Guelph-Humber.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I asked Jameson the same questions, like what is St. Jerome's University? So I'm going to ask the 3 of you, like what is Renison, what is Grebel, what is United College? Like what's their kind of core foundations or like their core principles? And how does it differ, I guess, from the University of Waterloo, or how is it similar in any way?
All right. So I would say at United College, our focus is on community building, and like our tagline is literally bringing people together. So most of our programming and our efforts are just to make a better community for our students and hopefully make them feel at home and like they belong here. And that is our biggest focus. Outside of that, we are focused on environment, sustainability, reconciliation for Indigenous peoples. We are home to the Waterloo Indigenous Student Center and the Greenhouse Social Impact Incubator as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was known as WISC for the Waterloo.
Yeah.
So Renison, I guess I can start with our motto, which is like one sky overall. If you look across all of the UCs, like I feel like all of us are pretty human-centered and more focused on the sociology aspect of things for Renison in particular, because we have our own programs like social development studies and social work that translates into how can we look at institutions and systems as a collective or individual to make a positive impact, stuff like that.
For sure.
And so it's a smaller community, but it's definitely pretty vibrant. There's activities all the time.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, because it's like we think of the University of Waterloo, it's like a huge, campus, large institution. But then once you go into the university colleges, you're now kind of like a smaller community within the larger community.
Yeah.
So you get the ability to make maybe those strong and more meaningful connections, build those relationships because it's more smaller knit. But then also you're still part of that larger community of the University of Waterloo, which is great.
For sure.
We kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the way I described it, it's like the UCs, like the university colleges are like a smaller community, like a neighborhood within a bigger city kind of vibes. Like you can still come and go and all of that, but it's more so like a more close-knit space, like you said, where you can kind of get yourself grounded, especially if you're transitioning into university from high school. It's less of a panicky situation.
For sure.
So Conrad Grebel is a university college that's affiliated with the University of Waterloo. We have residents and academic communities there. So we host the music and the peace and conflict studies programs. And we also have a small community-based residence.
Nice. Awesome. And do you have to be religious in any ways to sort of be a part of the university colleges? I asked this to Jameson before, but...
No. So Grebel is affiliated with the Mennonite Church, which means we do have a chaplain on staff, a weekly chapel that are optional for students to attend. So there are various faith-related activities that are either student-run or run by the college that are optional. Yeah. But we do have students from various different faith backgrounds as well as from no faith background at all living at Grebel.
Perfect. Yeah. Same with
United. We have, and we don't have a religious affiliation anymore with any church. We used to, but we have since broken ties.
Renison, we are still affiliated with the Anglican Church. However, if you walk into our building, you'll see that the faith isn't the forefront of everything. We recognize that people come from all different walks of life, and we offer, like Grebel, we have our own chaplain and stuff, but we also really look at other aspects, like different types of spirituality and also other ways to take care of the student emotionally and mentally as well.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on a little bit, are you able to co-register with your specific university college?
So Grebel does not have co-registration. We have, like I said, the music and peace and conflict studies that you would be taking as like University of Waterloo courses there. And when you graduate with the University of Waterloo degree.
Yeah.
So co-registration, Renison, yes, you can absolutely co-registrate. And I often have high school students ask me what exactly is co-registration.
Do you want to explain that a little bit?
So the way that I like to simplify it is it's if you choose to co-registrate with Renison or any of the university colleges, it's like you're selecting your home base as Renison, for example, but you're still a University of Waterloo student. And so if you were to select Renison as your home base, you open yourself up to a whole new world of resources and, whether that is access to our in-house academic advisors or getting access to another set of financial awards and supports. And so it's just a little extra to help you navigate through your career university.
And then you still graduate with that normal University of Waterloo degree. Yeah.
All in all, you're still a University of Waterloo student.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not you want that additional support before you even get in, and also afterwards as well.
Gotcha. Perfect.
United also does not co-register. We do have academic programming that we support for the University of Waterloo. We have programming in human rights, Indigenous studies, Indigenous entrepreneurship, social innovation, Canadian studies, religious studies. There's lots. But anybody who's taking any programming at United would just leave with a UW degree.
Gotcha. And then I guess the big question that I have, which obviously is a big part of SJU, so I think it's also a big part of all the different university colleges, is do you offer a residence? And if so, kind of speak maybe about the pricing of it. Are meal plans required? What are the different dorm room styles? Kind of generally talking about just your residence that you offer, if you offer.
So United Colleges biggest offering is our residence program. We have around, I believe, 330 beds that we offer per term. And we have about 80% of those are reserved for first year students. And then we have some upper year students who live here as well. Each floor in our community has around 25 students and a don per each floor. So they have lots of support. Typically, there's only one don for every 25 students. So there's lots of time for them to spend helping and supporting and learning and whatnot together. I think if you walk into United, you just kind of get like a really nice sense of community. You can walk around and you'll always see people who you know. People are wanting to talk and smile and wave, and you can walk around the cafe and just sit down and chat with anybody or find a seat, and there will always be someone around with a smiley, happy face. We offer 3 different styles of rooms to first year incoming students. So we have a traditional double room, a double room with an ensuite, and a traditional single room.
Yeah.
In the traditional double room, people are getting their own little single beds. In the double with ensuite, they have a washroom in their room and a bunk bed system. And then in a single room, they would just have their own space. Our prices range from around $13,000 to $16,000 for an 8-month. Academic year. Thanks. For an 8-month academic year. Oh, and our meal plans are required. They are built into our residence pricing, and they're all you can eat meal plans. So students can walk in and out of the cafe as many times as they like, as many times as they want. Yeah. As much as they like whenever they want.
There you go. That's awesome. That's perfect.
Sorry.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to be like, I'm going to eat at your cafe.
I have a meal ticket if you want to go share a meal after.
Perfect. Okay, covered.
Jen?
Renison, so the question was about if we have residents.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, we do have residents for students across all 6 faculties. And a fun fact is we actually do have some scholarships tailored towards faculty-specific students. Like, for example, for engineering students, we do have a specific housing scholarship for them. So this is just a bit of an insight as to the different kinds of financial supports that you would have in addition if you were to be a part of Renison. We have a total of 214 beds, and on every floor you will have a don similar to any other residences. We do have the lowest don to student ratio, so it's 1 to 21, 22.
Sure.
And so that just really narrows the distance between you and your upper year homie to help you navigate university, right? It's
upper year homie, I like that.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming, and I think it's important to recognize that there are people there to help you. And one of the closest forms when you first come into post-secondary is your don, right?
For sure.
And as for the types of rooms that we have, so the most common rooms we have are the traditional doubles, so the type you see in the movies, where it's 2 single beds, and you're kind of,
sharing a space.
Space, right? And then we also have double linked rooms. And so linked rooms is, so if we were to put an imagery to it, so let's say this is room 1, room 2. So this room can either have 1 or 2 beds, same as this, and these 2 rooms will share a bathroom.
Okay.
And so those are our linked style rooms. In the bathroom, it can hold up to 4 people. So different to the traditional double, the movie dorm rooms, you need to clean your own washroom for that. But it's nice to have more privacy in terms of that way. And we do have single beds, but those are not as ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Am I missing anything else?
Meal plan?
Meal plan. So the meal plan, similar to United, it's incorporated into our residence fees.
Nice.
And so it's an all-you-can-eat kind of style meal plan. And you get to come in, you get to, we work on a tap system. And so what that means is just a fancy way of saying how you gotta tap your walk card, which is your student card before you leave and stuff. And so you get 2 taps per meal. And so there's, and in other words, you get plenty of food. Yeah. And Tim, this is going to be a quick plug. If you want to check out our Instagram,
there you go.
Tim is our local Renison celebrity, and he is also our chef. He's very interactive with the students. He's also our pseudo Chris Hemsworth, and so you'll see him acting, what do you call it? Filming reels for us for Instagram, and he does cooking lessons with students, and we do have our own kitchen for students too if they want to use it.
Nice.
kind of just blabbering on.
No, that's
but
perfect.
I think there's also fees that we didn't talk about yet. And
Okay.
so for fees, a range for one academic year in uni, so that's like 8 months, 2 terms, is approximately $13K to $15K.
Okay.
At Renison.
Perfect. Thanks, Jerome.
Okay, yeah, so Grebel also has a residence program. We have 140 students living in our residence, which makes us the smallest residence on campus. For an 8-month contract, we are just shy of $13,000 for an 8-month contract. We don't have a range because all of our rooms are double rooms, so everyone's paying the exact same thing. And that includes the all-you-can-eat meal plan. So just like the other university colleges, Grebel has an all-you-can-eat meal plan. People say that the food is really good. We have a lot of like home style food there. Kitchen staff who have been working there for a really long time. We're actually recognizing one of our kitchen staff this year for 40 years.
40.
Working there, yeah.
Holy.
And she's the second person that we're recognizing for that. Last year we also had a kitchen staff who were working there
Crazy.
for 40 years. Yeah, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
They really care a lot about their jobs, and all of our baked goods are homemade.
Yeah.
Our Grebel cookies are
I've
kind
heard
of
about the
famous.
cookies.
Yeah, people always
Yeah.
talk about them.
We've had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our kitchen staff makes like hundreds and hundreds of cookies, 100% from scratch every
Yeah.
single week, as well as like many other baked goods. So yeah, students really enjoy the food there. Let's see. One thing that makes Grebel unique is that we are a first year upper year residence, which means we have about half first years living in our residence and half upper years.
Gotcha.
And the nice thing about that is, so a lot of our students choose to come and stay for a second year or beyond, and it means that we have upper years living in our residence. So when first years come in, they're going to meet people who are in their program. You'll meet people who have taken the same courses that you're currently taking. So there's a lot of homework help, mentorship, just a real wraparound support system. And our upper years are also often taking on leadership roles. So we have our own student council, larger leadership team that are running events and clubs for students to be involved in. So there's lots of leadership opportunities or just ways to get involved. It's a great way to meet other people that you're living with. So yeah, that's one of the ways that our community is like quite unique.
That's awesome. It's perfect. Thanks for kind of sharing all of that about the residences. And then kind of just touching up on that. Do you have to be in a specific, let's say, program or faculty to go into the residence, or can students from any faculty live at Renison, Grebel, or United?
I think it's the same across the board that we can all take students from all faculties at the University of Waterloo.
Yeah. That's
Like
perfect.
we're not separate from University
No,
of
for
Waterloo,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any living learning communities on your campus? I know you maybe chatted a little bit about them, but anything that you want to add to that?
Living learning community is essentially a place where you are able to do your academic studies, but however still live within the same area. And so a living learning community could look like you would be living on the floor with mostly your program peers. So at Renison, how that would translate is that because we have our own in-house programs, we house the social development studies program, which is education geared for like social change and impact. You'll find that there's always like little groups of SCS students that live on the same floor, or they live close to one another on different floors. And they often come together for study sessions, and they go to classes together, which are also within the same building. So we kind of make your friend group for you a little bit, or make it easier for you to kind of make those
You kind of like
connections.
foster that connection.
You foster that connection. And because honestly, the most important thing I would say for a student, especially when you're coming into university, is connection. And I don't mean just like, like this person can help me with my homework, but actually genuinely building making friends.
Yeah.
But that's what a living learning community is.
United has, I believe, 5 living learning communities. Our 2 biggest living learning communities, one is our environment living learning community. So it's for students who are in the Faculty of Environment. We're very close to the environment buildings. We're about 3 minutes away from it. So we've had that partnership for a really long time. And then we also have Women in Engineering. Our Women in Engineering living learning community is one of our biggest. It is offered to any women in the Faculty of Engineering or non-binary or female identifying students. We also have a Human Rights and Law living learning community, a floor called La Bastille, which is a French-speaking community.
La Bastille.
La Bastille.
Like,
No, Bastille.
B-A-S-T-I-L.
Bastille. It's like, if you read it out loud, it'd be Bastille.
Yeah. My French immersion went out the window.
It's okay.
What's Bastille?
We have one more.
What's Bastille?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Oh, and then we have an Indigenous residence community as well.
So at Renison, we have 3 living learning communities. I'm professing to all of us here. So we have the Social Development Studies Living Learning Community. We have the BASE Learning Living Community. And so BASE is short for Bridge to Academic Success in English. And so Renison is also the home to the English Language Institute of University of Waterloo. And so we see a lot of international students come here. We offer English programs. And for students that don't quite meet the English requirements that are coming internationally, we have the option of applying through our BASE program to kind of transition into University of Waterloo. And one more, we have the WALC Living Learning Community, and that is the Warrior Athletic Leadership Community. There we go. So we got athletes.
That's awesome.
We got athletes.
We don't have any living learning communities at Grable right now, but because of our music and peace and conflict studies affiliations, we often have students from those programs choosing to live there. We have lots of music practice rooms, talent shows, coffee houses, ensembles rehearse there. So for students, even for students who aren't studying music, if they want to take an ensemble or they just play an instrument, then it can be a great fit for them because they're super close to the music practice rooms and all of our music related activities. And then we also have quite a few peace and justice related clubs. So students in peace and conflict studies, they also, because their classes are right in the same building, often find a good home at Grable.
It's awesome. I love the diversity between the 3 here and then even the one that I was talking to with St. Jerome. So much diversity across our campus, so many different living learning communities that we have, and just a lot of spots for students to feel welcome and to really belong, which is really the best part of our campus from my own opinion. But just moving on to the last 2 questions that we have here. What advice would you have for students interested in attending Waterloo in general, or even just any of your university college?
I would say that my best advice would be to just come and visit us. Probably people would say that before, but each of the university colleges, like you said, has a bit of a niche. They're similar in a lot of ways and a little bit different in ways too. And so coming to take a tour in person is a great way to get a feel for the space, see the rooms, and just figure out what's really gonna sit well with you, find a place that aligns with your own values and your interests. And
I think all of us can definitely agree to visit us, and I call it like a vibe check thing, right? Because we can talk our ears off about our respective university colleges in the community here, but at the end of the day, this is your education, this is your life, and you're going to be the person that's going to be living in this space. And so, similar to Gemma, I would say come visit us, but also don't be afraid to ask questions, And I always tell students, there's no such thing as stupid questions, but if you feel like they're stupid, ask anyway, because you deserve to advocate for yourself, and you deserve to put yourself out there, and just don't block yourself off in doing that. We're always here to help, and whether that's through scheduling a meeting with you or even just through email or text.
Yeah, ton of support even before you even become a Waterloo Warrior. So we help those students get here, and then once they're here, we give them that support. And let's say even when they graduate, we're still here to support them and give them those resources as alum.
Absolutely.
I can say it myself as well, but I basically did the spiel for Jen earlier too, and this is probably what I say to most families who come and they're like, tell me what's best about your university college, or why should we pick you? And I'm always going to say, I don't think there's one thing that makes any of us better than the other. Across the board, you're going to be getting the experience that you make of it. And so you need to just look for a space that makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel at home. Coming out to open houses or coming to a tour and being able to talk with other students or staff who work at the colleges or campus housing or wherever it might be. And just getting a feel for those people who will be supporting you so that you know where you felt really accepted, where you felt like there were people who heard you and talked to you the way that you needed to be talked to. We have different areas of interest. We have different things that are important to us at each college. And so find the space that feels really right for you.
Yeah, it's all about envisioning yourself, and can you see yourself being here for the next 4, potentially 5 years if you're in a co-op program. So it's a lot of time, and come out with your parents, some friends, family members, spend the day in Waterloo, visit campus, visit the university colleges that we have, and just see if you can envision yourself on our campus and studying, learning, and thriving here at Waterloo. So it's awesome.
Can I also just say, if you can't come visit, like if you live far away, if you're international for whatever reason, also just reach out to us. We're happy to have phone calls, video calls. We have like virtual tours that we offer, so you can also see the space like online. If you can't make it out for whatever reason, then we're also happy to connect with you virtually.
Yeah, thanks, Jerome. I love that point there. And then for the very last question that we have here, I just want to open the floor to sort of anything that you didn't get a chance to talk about today that maybe you want to talk about, or any plugs you want to throw in for your university college. Now is kind of the time.
Okay, so I did want to mention that all of our living learning communities also have one or more peer leaders who support their community. So on top of the Don that lives on their floor with them, there are also folks from their faculty, potentially in their program as well, who are coming to the college weekly, bi-weekly, set number of times per however long. And they're here to offer workshops or sessions, help with studying, connect folks with tutors on campus, really just help them find any resources that they may need, but on a more academic support side.
Yeah. And that's in addition to your normal like academic advisor that you would have.
We don't have academic advisors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because we don't have like co-registration and we don't run any programs actually. So we have like profs who live here, whose offices are like in our main hallway and folks could go to them to look for support, but we don't have advisors. Yeah. Okay, one other thing that I didn't talk about was our cafeteria.
Yeah.
At United College, our cafeteria is called Watson's Eatery. We have a head chef who works in our kitchen, and we have a baker who is baking sweet treats for our students all day, every day. All meals can be customized to meet any kind of restrictions that any students may have. And I think one of my favorite things about our kitchen staff is that if you brought them a recipe and told them, I miss my mom's cooking, they would make it for you and make sure that you feel that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like that home vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Okay. My last thing is you can find United College on Instagram at United College UW.
Perfect. We'll plug it in the description below. Yeah.
That's it.
Similar to United, we have peer leaders for each living learning communities. So we have like a base peer leader, we have an SDS peer leader. It's kind of like your Don, like your homie, but they also help you. They run workshops for instance, like how do you interview? How do you do your resume? How can you study better? Stuff like that, or sleep hygiene, all those things. Ooh, for our residents, a new thing that we're doing for the upcoming year is we are adding $200 of flex dollars onto each of our incoming students' walk cards. And this money you could use for your laundry, you can use for anything on campus if you want to grab a snack and you can't come, or grab a lunch anywhere and you can't come back to Renison to have the food here. Yeah. Or, because the cool thing about UW is we have some restaurants around us where, and I think in the UW Plaza, we have some places where you can use your flex dollars.
Yeah, your student card.
Your student card to pay for your meals and stuff like that. And so, and our social media. If you want to see Tim, in his working his magic, you can find him on Renison Experience. And our main Renison account on IG is Renison College.
Nice. We'll link that also in the description below. Yeah. Okay. Gemma, anything to add or?
Just a couple things to wrap up. One, I just wanted to mention we have a lot of financial aid for our students in our residence programs. So we have entrance awards, and especially for our returning students. If you're making that decision to come back and live in residence for a second, third, or even fourth year, we have really robust scholarships, awards, and bursaries that students can receive to help cover the cost of their residence fees. And then I should also mention that if students are interested in living at Grebel, we're actually the only residence that's not part of the first year housing guarantee, which means that if students want to live here, they should just apply directly to us. Sure. So you can find the application on our website, on our social media. It's literally linked everywhere. Just look it up, Grebel application. And then, I'll just say that we find that students have a really good experience, a very smooth transition from high school to university when they're able to come into that small community. And we have people at Grebel, especially coming back year over year, who really make friends for life.
Exactly. And you have that structured support system. And everybody at Grebel and everybody at the other university colleges are so dedicated towards the students and their well-being. So it's perfect combo there. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely have to go for some cookies at Grebel. That's all I know. Is that those cookies really are the best. But yeah. Yeah, they're like chocolate chip. Oh, they're so good. But yeah, we'll link all of your social media stuff as well as the websites in the description below for students to sort of check that out if they want any additional info. And then if there's anything on there, then they can obviously send some emails to you if they have any additional questions or set up some phone calls if they can't make it to campus but want to check out the spaces. So that's really awesome. But otherwise, I think we'll kind of wrap it up. So thank you all for being a part of the University Colleges episode on our Hello Warrior podcast. I definitely know that our students have definitely got a good sort of knowledge and like experience on kind of what university colleges are and also how they complement the University of Waterloo and how students can make those stronger and more meaningful connections in those smaller living communities, which is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. All right, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.